Hey everyone, Couch Investor here, back with another video for you today. In today's video, we're going to talk about what NIO's next big moves are going to be in the next couple of years. So we're going to go over their battery as a service, battery swapping, their partnerships with Intel and MobilEye, maybe expanding into Europe and the United States. We're going to look at the graphs as well, because most of you have known that NIO has raised $3.6 billion in funding. So it's going to be very interesting to see what their next steps are going to be. We're going to discuss that in this video. I will try and keep it as short as possible. But before I get into the graphs, if you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 4,000 subscribers. I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. And if you like these videos, maybe leave it an early thumbs up, as it really helps me out grow the channel and get my videos out there. So without further ado, let's go look at the graphs. Alright, so looking at the graphs right now, obviously since my last video, which was again more of a bearish video, the most negative side of NIO, what could go wrong and everything like that. But we've seen that, like I said, we've seen the gap here. The stock actually went down all the way to this price at $11 or so. Now we see here that 20 something dollars is a resistance point. If we will see the stock continue to go up, watch out for that $20 resistance points. If it manages to break out, who knows where the stock will go. But as of now, I think we will continue trading between 17 and $18.5 or so. Those of you that bought the dip right here are probably happy to have added to their position. But overall, right now, we're also in a normal RSI area right here. Back then, end of August, $21, we were a bit in the overbought, then the stock cooled down, and then obviously the crash happened. But overall, I could see the stock trading around those prices right here for the next couple of days, and then maybe retest $21. If it breaks, great, then it should create a solid base to move even further above, but that remains to be seen. All right, and let's now look at a couple of numbers right here. We see this wonderful graph. So NIO delivered 3,965 vehicles to customers last month, so that was August, up 104.1% from August of last year in its best ever monthly total. Now, those numbers are crazy numbers right now. For me, it just showed how bad NIO was just 1 year or so ago. That included 1,125 of its top-of-the-line ES8 SUV, which is the bigger model, revamped earlier this year, and 2,840 of its 5-passenger ES6 crossovers, which debuted last year I think in June, yes. Year to date through August, NIO's deliveries increased by 109.9% from the same period last year. You can see right here, this is August this year, and August last year is that little one right here. Even though you can see that the new model that they released last year, the ES6, was pretty popular, even if in its third month of going to market. But again, it just showed how bad NIO was doing last year compared to this year. Now, NIO is expected to begin shipping its third model, the sporty ES6 crossover, before the end of September, which is this one, which could fill in the gap of people that are not looking to buy this huge ES8 model and don't like the ES6, so you get this little crossover like that. Now, its August sales record isn't likely to stand for long. The CEO said that after a recent assembly line overhaul, the company's manufacturing partner now has the ability to build up to 5,000 NIOs per month, which could solve the little supply bottleneck that they recently had, which is a good thing to see. Right, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk a bit about what NIO is going to do in the next couple of years with all that money raised. So first of all, we have to know that NIO has a partnership with Intel for their autonomous technology, which is the MobilEye technology. So as of now, all NIO vehicles will have that MobilEye in their vehicle. So they're using Intel's technology as of now. But if Intel were to develop a autonomous fleet robotaxis just like Tesla, it will first go into the NIO vehicles and they will test it out with the NIO vehicles, which is a huge advantage for NIO going forward, but that remains to be seen. I think it's way more down the line than the battery as a service program, the battery swappables, and maybe even expanding into Europe. But it will be very interesting to see what happens there. And next up, we have the battery swapping technology, which basically means you take your car into this sort of garage, you wait, I think 3 minutes or so, and your battery gets swapped, you get a new battery. Now, besides that, they actually announced a new service, which is called a battery as a service, BaaS. Most of you know software as a service, SaaS, but now there's a new technology out there, battery as a service, which is basically NIO leasing their batteries. So you can buy a car, let's say the ES6, for example, without the battery, but you lease the battery apart. I think it's around $140 or so per month, but you get free swappable batteries, which means that if you're out of fuel, let's say, you can go and swap it for free. Or maybe you're going on a long trip, you can swap your battery for a longer range battery. You will just pay the difference. If you would like to keep that longer range battery, you will just adjust the payment per month. So it will jump from $140 to maybe $180, $200 or so. I don't know how it works, but that's how it is right now. Then eventually moving into the future, when batteries will become less expensive, maybe the lease will go, because as of now, the whole point of leasing a battery is to make the actual cost of the vehicle, when me, the consumer, is going to buy a vehicle, let's say Tesla or a NIO, it's going to cost me way less than with a battery. And another point is that if NIO comes out with a new battery with longer range, same size, you can go and swap it as well and just pay the difference. That the whole thing of leasing a battery. And then the most important thing for me, I think, is the capacity increase and the scaling up of production. Right now, I think they have managed to basically increase capacity to 5,000 vehicles per month, which was the big problem earlier, that capacity was not at its highest possible rate. Meaning before, people were, let's say, ordering lots of NIO cars, but they could not deliver them on time. Lots of delays, people weren't that happy. Right now, with the scaling up of production, more capacity, more people could get their new vehicles much faster than before, which is very good, because scaling is one of the highest and most prioritized things when you're manufacturing. You want to scale up as fast as possible and as big as possible if you want to grow. And lastly, we have the expansion outside of China, maybe going into Europe or the United States. For the United States, I think it's going to be very tricky because of the relations between the United States and China, especially Chinese companies that want to go into China right now. With all the trade war and the tensions between the two countries, it remains to be seen. But as of now, I think they will have to focus first on the European market, because as of now, this year, the European market is the largest EV market in the world. I think they've surpassed 500,000 vehicles, including the plug-in vehicles. And China, they're just under that number. So moving into Europe, I think for me is a better option in the next couple of years, because that's their plan for 2022, 2023 or so, to start looking, expanding outside of China, and then maybe 2024, 2025, fully moving outside of China. But right now, I would like them to scale up inside of China, look at the competition, because I think the competition in China is pretty big with XPeng, Tesla obviously, but let's leave Tesla out of the equation because that's a much larger player right now. But overall, this is what I think NIO could be doing and should be doing in the next couple of years. If you have any other suggestions, what you think NIO is going to do, leave it down in the comments below. And that will be it for this video. If you liked it, consider leaving a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, we're on our way to 4,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, take care, stay safe, and enjoy the weekend. Bye-bye.